Let's do some American roleplay. I've got to say though, this does look like a good cast of characters. Hey, yo! Think it's only right we bring Furina out for this?
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
Morris, how could you, man?
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. I'm really facing a crisis. My hands are tied.
It's always the Morrises, man.
But what about my film?
Xavier, it's nice to meet you again.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Take it from me. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Same goes for this film festival.
Man. Screw you, Morris.
Oh.
Oh, the tragedy.
Hey, isn't that Xavier? So he's back in Fontaine now.
I think the last time we saw him was Inazuma, right? We might have saw him in Sumeru.
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear Traveler and Paimon. I really didn't expect to bump into you here at this time.
Yeah, it's been a while. How have you been?
Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer able to provide the promised amount of funds.
Oh, God, no. How do you pronounce her name again? Chevreuse? Chevreuse? She's vibing in the back.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontanalia Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with any other investors until the festival is finished.
That's awful.
The Fontanalia Film Festival? What's that?
Oh, is this your first time participating in Fontaine's Fontanalia Film Festival?
It is.
Then allow me to fill you in. The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconageria.
I'm guessing this is some lore you can read about in the books, which I don't do because I can't read.
The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
Sick.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
Okay, that was a... What was that sound effect? That was so random. Okay.
I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books, in order to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics. I usually try to recite things straight from the source.
Ah, well done, my good sir. Xavier is the man that brings the sauce.
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt, and the Lantern Rite in Lille.
And the Lantern Rite is approaching, right? It should be around the corner now.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like a good festival? And just like those of other nations, Fontaine will hold a plethora of events around this time each year.
Buzzin'.
To commemorate the Loch Knights, people will imitate them by putting on special costumes, raising golden cups, and going door to door asking for pure water.
That's cool and all, but I just want to see Furina.
But a few years ago, Lady Furina started to find the whole idea a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to sweets.
I respect it.
That really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year, you can hear a bunch of them saying, "Trial or treat."
Yeah, okay. God's sake.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does that connect back to the film festival you mentioned?
Ah, yes, it appears I've strayed off topic. I just got too excited after seeing you. Let me get back to the point.
Yo, man, she's thinking hard about what she wants to buy. She's been staring at that for like 6 minutes. Could even be longer since we only just arrived.
The Fontanalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Furina Award by the association.
What?
The what award?
The Furina Award, Paimon. Come on, get with it. Jesus.
The Furina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Furina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name.
Even if it was renamed, it would just be called the Fossil Award.
Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Furina is still Fontaine's superstar.
Yeah?
Anyone with eyes can see the way she shines on the stage.
It's nice to know that Furina has like a passion for actually being on stage.
Huh. Alright. Guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Yeah?
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who traveled all the way here from Inazuma.
The squad. Like, from the trailer, Chiori's design looked really nice.
Chiori? Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that name before?
Yeah, she runs the clothing store in the Court of Fontaine.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
There's.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
Ah. I mean, I've got to give props for designing Navia's clothes, because goddamn, they look beautiful.
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering Seamstress.
There you
Her
go.
remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Inazuma.
I mean, at least Inazuma isn't much as a shit show as it was before.
Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international cast for the film. She really is a kind soul.
I think the characters we're getting from Inazuma is Chiori, Ayato, Ayaka, and Yoimiya, right? I think those are the 4 confirmed ones. And it wouldn't surprise me if we end up getting like a surprise visit from Kazuha, because he always shows up, doesn't he?
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Yep.
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them?
Oh, getting them straight away? Thank you.
Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
Yeah, can we go see Chevreuse? She's been, like, looking at the books for ages. Oh. Okay. A nice little opening. Yo, this looks nice. I want to talk to you. What are you doing? Ah, we can't talk to her yet. Oh, is she a fan of reading? You a fan of mystery books? Detective books? Some murder mysteries? Hey, there she is. Got no heels on the back of those? Just kind of floating. Man, her character design is so good.
Miss Chiori?
Sorted.
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
So.
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
You can ignore Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chiori Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Oh, so we can praise it. The way Navia's wardrobe comes together is really exceptional. It really is.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle.
Man, she can move around in that very easily. Navia throws herself around like it's nothing.
So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Yeah, you got dropped.
Well, it's like this.
Just blah, blah, blah. This is what happened. Blah, blah, blah.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Wow. Oh yeah, this investor's sketchy, but you still go along with it. That's on you, mate. How much was it though? If you need a sponsor, I have the money.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
Then you should have knew that something was up.
And therein lies the problem.
Exactly.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film.
Well, you can't make most of the film if you never get the money.
The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
I don't mind.
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Help scrounge? Paimon, we do not need to scrounge. We are rich.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
How much?
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
Alright.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
Hey man, get a really good director, Furina, even with a small budget, we can make something work.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet.
A great mindset.
The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
Mm-hmm. Bum 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 bum. God, I love Fontaine's music so much. Hey, there he is. There she is. There she is. The squad.
Really? Then where do you live?
Leave it to Yoimiya, dude.
We Malazines live in Mercy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
Yeah, leave it to Yoimiya to be the one chatting up the Melazines.
You're so thoughtful. But some Malazines choose to live in the court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
Yeah. I love their arm movements, man. Ayato.
This is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived, but I haven't even finished chatting with Aval yet.
I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Yeah, just have another ride along. You might get the tired
Thank you so
one.
much. I'm usually working here on this Aquabus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
There you go. Oh.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine.
Said it before, but I'll say it again. I love it when different characters from different regions interact with each other. It's one of my favorite things, so I can't wait to see this group of Inazuma characters interact with Furina, or Chevreuse, or Chevreuse, depending on how you pronounce her name. It's gonna be fun.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
I'm guessing this is when Inazuma went into a full lockdown.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
What's up, guys?
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
Mm-hmm.
So they're who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
You know what would have made this group like 10 times better if we had Ito here? Man, this event would just become like 10 out of 10 straight away. Seeing Ito interact with Furina, that would have been great.
Oh? It's the Traveler, and Paimon.
What's up?
Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
For the festival, but...
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
I thought I would always get the lead role, yeah. Oh no, the Traveler's getting main character syndrome.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy, and I didn't want to disturb you.
Hey man, all you have to do is offer like 20 Primo Gems and everyone will be on it.
So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
Oh, the betrayal.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
I do like as well she's wearing her Fontaine outfit. That's a nice touch. It's great to see you again, Ayaka.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this?
Fate, man.
Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
What, even for an extra 2 people?
Huh?
Oh.
Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yeah, and Paimon probably eats 6 people's worth, so, you know, better get you all out.
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
A few more might not be enough, mate.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Let's get it. So, if I recall correctly, this is going to be 5 acts. Yeah.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are.
And even to this day, I still get lost.
And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight.
Mm-hmm.
And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec. Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
It's being powered by Big Up New Valette. Right.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Alright, where's the fish and chips?
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Yo, Inazuma has UK food? Wouldn't have expected that.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Bad.
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew, a lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, well, that's gone well. Getting the actual sponsor, though, not too well.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
It always comes down to money.
Oh? What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
I think we all can agree, though, it's Xavier's fault.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before the case could even be heard.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Just get New Valette to help us.
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the problem?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival's submission deadline.
I'm sure they can pay for it.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
There you go.
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
Couldn't be us. We need those rewards.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation.
But why?
Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations.
As?
We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine in the past, so we hoped this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Yeah, I didn't really think about Inazuma developing relationships with other regions. It's smart.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, they're fine with it. They have a bunch of money.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. It's my hope that the film can be finished and released as smoothly as possible.
Here's what I'm hoping as well. By end of Act 5, we get like a 5-minute cutscene. Won't happen. It'll probably only be like 20 seconds, but here's the hoping.
If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
That's actually really big. I would take that over money, 100%.
All right, I'll do as you say. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house,
Don't do
my
that.
camera, and every single family heirloom.
You're taking a bit too far.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Yeah, we can help too.
Me too. Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got 22 million, so if that helps.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to...
So dumb.
Ew. All right, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support, and 2 leads who are willing to act for free, I think we will be able to make this happen.
I already like her as a character.
So, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Alright, can we use some of our connections? We've got a pretty good director.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
But we do know someone.
All right, pull yourself together, Xavier. Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
All right. Let me think.
I mean,
We
she
still need
is
a
straight to the
camera
point, though.
operator, a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics.
Okay.
I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Director.
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
Well, I know nothing of film, so I have no clue.
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting. The work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
Ah, some guy would be awful at. Gotcha.
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
And I guess Paimon would be good for it. She can just do it and get out the way.
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that.
All right, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Oh, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the Traveler take the role.
Hey, old bet, alright.
Oh, she's great when it comes to using a camera.
I'm really
Paimon
not.
can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
I've taken like 5.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we worked together previously.
Nope.
I'm sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Teyvat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the job?
Lights, camera, action.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
Okay. You might be pushing it a bit there, mate. Ugh. I think we better get to work.
So all that's left for us to find is a director and an assistant.
Personal space, mate.
Oh, me. I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
Yeah?
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their own films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Furina.
Oh, Furina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Hey, she's living her life, alright, Paimon?
Furina?
Yeah.
Do you really think Lady Furina would be willing to help us with our humble project?
Depending on how much time has passed and the fact that, like, that passion has been, like, reunited, she might be open to it.
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
You don't know the full story.
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe not too long ago, and now she's taking up work as a director.
Well,
What's the problem, mate?
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect, and the storyboards were also excellent.
The music went hard on it.
Don't let her former identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll never know until you give her a shot.
Fine, you're right, Chiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film, anything! Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Furina's residence. I just hope she'll agree to help.
I don't really want to be showing him to someone's house, to be honest. I feel like that's her private place, you know? Catherine already doxed her location to us. I don't want to be spreading it out to everyone.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you've just arrived in Fontaine, and I'm sure there are many places you would like to visit.
I'm just saying, Xavier, we can go alone, alright? You don't need to come.
Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
Yeah, bring some cake. Alright, that's the least you can do.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Furina's place. We know Furina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
Cake. Just go with cake or sweets.
A gift for someone who was once seen as the Hydra Oricon. I wonder what she would like.
I recall that Lady Furina once fancied a clockwork ring, so perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
It doesn't have to be that deep. Just a good cake. That's it.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like the Fontanelia mousse?
There you go.
But wouldn't that be a little too cheap?
So?
She does like desserts, though.
Hey, man. No matter how cheap chocolate is, you give me chocolate, I will scrounge that down, and I'll be thankful.
Isn't the Fontanelia Festival happening right now? I heard Abel tell us on the Aquabus that Furina introduced the tradition of going door to door and asking for sweets.
Yeah, okay, so she just introduced Halloween. Gotcha.
To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
Yep.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually make her feel more uncomfortable.
Especially when she doesn't know you. And Xavier's already expressed himself a little bit too much. It doesn't seem like he respects personal boundaries.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontanelia mousse.
Buzz in. Oh, alright, quick transition.
But will that really be enough?
Oh my god.
We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
My guy, it's enough.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Double the desserts. There you go.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontanelia mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
Okay.
But what could that be?
Your words of praise.
I mean, yeah, I guess that could work. Whoa. So we just have to talk her up. Gotcha. Yeah, feed the ego a little bit.
You go ahead. No need to worry about us.
Oh, I hope Furina will like the gifts we prepared. Oh, and if you still think we should get something else for her, just let me know. I should be able to make some fireworks.
She would really enjoy fireworks. Make some fireworks. Ayato, my man.
Looking forward to the good news.
Very simple. I like it.
We're here. This is where Furina lives.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Alright, don't be weird.
Coming. Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Sleeping into the afternoon, I respect it.
Who are you?
Sorry about that, Furina. We'll show two people where you live.
Lady Furina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the Traveler and Paimon I see behind you?
Sorted.
And who's this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chiori Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something?
Because the both times we've seen Furina since the Archon quest, we've been asking for her help with something that she has kind of trauma with. It's kind of weird.
Did you just get up, Furina? It's already past noon, you know.
Yo, Paimon, can you try to be nice?
Huh? Oh,
Jesus.
The weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea.
God, why do we ever let Paimon do any type of talking?
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels.
Amen.
What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Furina. We hope you like it.
Satisfy that sweet tooth a little bit.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontinalia mousse?
Buzzing.
It's one of my favorites.
There you go, we've hit the sweet spot.
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with.
It's so quick from the transition. Here's a gift. By the way, we need your help.
Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Oh, but didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yeah, well, he's an NPC, so you know.
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own, Lady Furina.
Yep.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
That we are.
Yep, we sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and she's the camera operator.
Camera operator? That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it?
I have experience. I can show you if you like. This is gonna be awful.
No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Because I rarely use it.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If she can satisfy you with her camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What do you say?
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera.
Alright.
Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards.
Alright, already suiting the role. Whatever you say, Director Furina.
Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work.
Alright, we can show you what's up.
Are you ready? I have high standards, you know.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, grab the camera and I'll give you a scenario.
Alright. Filming theme directed by Furina. Estelle is the boss of the Bemunt workshop and has always been proud of her forging machine, as it can not only precisely control the strength of temperature, but also takes no effort from the blacksmith. Let us film a promotional video for her workshop. Remember to emphasize the superiority of her forging machine. Yeah, we're doing this for free? Alright. That shows off the workshop, shows the machine, her drinking some coffee or some tea. Yeah, look at all these weapons that she's an arms dealer. And then boom, the ending shot. Bada bing. Easy. Oh damn, we're getting an actual... Alright. Located in the Court Fontaine Beaumont workshop, okay. This machine can precisely control the force applied and the temperature, making it perfect for exhausting and time-consuming work. Thanks to this machine, the owner of Beaumont workshop, Estelle, can comfortably enjoy each day of work. But were it not for these weapons produced by Beaumont workshop are of astounding quality. I can't keep up. If weapons are what you want, look no further than Beaumont. Beautiful.
Oh, it appears that you have more skill than I thought.
What could I say? I'm just really good at picking out from free options.
All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
So, what's the verdict? It's shit.
Yeah! Does that mean you agree to be our director, Furina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know.
Alright, going back to your throne.
In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontinalia Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique my interest.
Fair enough.
If others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily, then, well...
Then what, Furina?
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince you, Furina?
Well, what about the pay?
I respect it. She needs the money.
Huh?
you know how much you're willing to pay me to be the director? The pay is also an important factor for me to consider, you know.
Hey, she knows what she's doing.
Well, I can offer you this much?
Hey, yo, please just agree. I've got no money. I'm so poor.
What? That's all? If Nervylet were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
Oh my god, it's that bad?
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew,
Sure.
there's still something I'd like to ask. Exactly what film are you planning to make?
The Two Musketeers, if I remember correctly.
Our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
That's my favorite.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
What?
Oh, so Furina's ready too.
I'm guessing it's the novel that she was reading last night.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace.
Uh-huh.
I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
Okay, so if we needed to pay for copyright, we would have been screwed. My guy, you are terrible.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either.
Kiara?
The exposure she provides for my brand is well worth it.
I mean, yeah, that is fair.
So, are you a big fan of this story, Furina?
Hmm?
Well,
Yes.
it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. I have high standards, you know.
I mean, we can always just change it up a little bit. If the author's fine with it, of course.
Ahem, Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
Basically just saying, yeah, the story's trash. Let me have a go at it.
As much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Alright, we can leave the cooking to Furina.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit.
Hmm?
Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, now's your chance to make a film that you love. True?
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
I love her, dude.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the little twinkle. Okay.
I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
I mean, I probably would because I would forget about it, but I get what your point is. Thank you, Furina.
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I? Somebody pinch me.
I mean, technically, there's no Hydra Archon above anymore, my guy.
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. Not to say set up lighting and props.
Okay, I don't think we're going to see Furina acting with the Inazuma cast this act. Hopefully we do, but doesn't seem to be that way.
And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who has actual experience with muskets.
I mean, those are probably the books that Chevreuse was probably looking at.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
Me? If this was before, I could have simply asked Florand. But it's already been some time since I last talked to her.
I mean, you can always, like, re-establish that connection.
Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
I would love to see Navia in this, though.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Chevreuse?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
Okay, how do you actually pronounce the name?
Yes, that's right. They work with Muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than them.
I think that's a pretty good shout.
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I don't have any connection with them at all.
You have connections with Neuvillette, though, don't you? Let's be real.
So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervilette.
Come on, you care about him.
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their captain, Chevreuse.
Chevreuse, okay.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
I know, she probably knows a lot of people.
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get involved directly. So, we've gotten to know each other over time.
Fair play, that's actually a pretty good connection to have.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation?
Of course.
Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
You can't have a special patrol and not have some, like, good-ass costumes, alright?
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that.
Jesus.
What do you all think about asking the captain to be our musket action choreographer?
Sounds pretty sweet.
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain after all. I have no objections.
I know where to find her currently if she's still standing by the books.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duties.
Nope.
Do you think she'd really have time to help with shooting a film? And then there's the issue of pay.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora.
Buzzing.
As for whether she has time, I'll have to go and ask her first.
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how things went when we discuss tomorrow's plan later.
God, you really need money, don't you, Furina?
No problem.
Having Furina join feels like a big boost to our team.
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I can guarantee that even the standing tickets will be sold out.
I'm glad that she's got her confidence back.
I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I think she found out as well because people still care about her as like a celebrity and not the Archon.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
There you go. Thank you, Furina, for saying what we want to say. Yeah, I can't wait to see our film's premiere.
Then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevreuse is today.
So do I.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then what about our two lead actors? Didn't they travel here all the way from Inazuma?
They're doing it for free, don't worry.
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask for any pay.
What? So is every person in Teyvat who doesn't want money gathered here to shoot this film? Don't tell me Chiori isn't being paid either.
Yeah, at least Furina's pointing out the very obvious weirdness of the situation.
I already knew Xavier from before, and he's also agreed to give my brand some good exposure.
Fair enough, someone that just likes being paid in exposure as well. Gotta take
It
it.
seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind you.
Yep, she's still there.
All right, this is the place.
Bro, she has been stood here for literally an hour. Also, I cannot listen to this song anymore without being depressed. They did it with Sumeru, and now they've done it with Fontaine. How dare you?
But
Paimon, look for the person with different colored hair, alright? Spot the main character.
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not the purple hair and the unique outfit, nah.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to get in her way.
Is she working? Again, she's been stood there for an hour. I don't think she's doing that much work.
Working? But isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Alright.
Oh, alright, let's see what happens then. Chiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
Her business definitely offers some other types of services.
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion.
Fair enough.
Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Chiori has been through to get where she is today. I'm sure that having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Oh yes, in a place like Fontaine, connections is everything.
Reading on the job?
Straight to the point.
Detective novel.
One main character?
No, multiple. Branching storylines.
Alright, I already like their friendship.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Alright, she's dumb, I love her.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Yeah?
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
Okay. What? Oh, these are doing shady business. Ah, I see. Okay. Took me a second there. Alright, what type of shady business are you two up to?
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end.
Fair play.
Halt!
You're under arrest, bucko.
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Sure, bucko.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers. It's bad for business, you know?
Yeah, what are you trying to hide then, though?
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either.
Shush.
I am Chevreuse, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once.
Laying it down.
And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
Sick.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in. I don't have anything to do with this.
Throwing him under the bus? Come on, my guy. That ain't gonna work.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Look at these professionals.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
Hey, quick with it. Fair play.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently?
Sorted.
Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right?
Kind of.
Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then.
This is where clout gets you.
Now that Vacher has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synths still circulating on the market.
Bro, it still shocks me how synth was even allowed to be sold. Do you guys not have like any kind of FDA here?
Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
So is Chiori's business kind of like a disguise for info gathering?
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Who would have guessed that Paimon is called Paimon?
Hey, I'm Chevreuse. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
I just have to remember how to say her name properly. Why didn't you arrest them immediately? I mean, you gotta catch them doing the crime. Plus, she was also giving them a chance to not do the wrong thing.
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
Oh, how dare you?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first.
Ah.
All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
Fair enough. I mean, at least she gave him a chance.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevreuse. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevreuse's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Ah. Okay, truth be told, if you have like a captain of like security standing next to your stall for like an hour and you're trying to do shady business and that's happening, you must know that they're onto you. You would just give it up.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once.
That's fair.
Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
You want to make a film?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
Blah, 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 explaining.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
That's right.
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible.
All right, firearm safety. Let's get it.
However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
Gotta do it for free.
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Buzzing.
Huh? Just like that?
I mean, we were already told that she's gonna do it for free.
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
And plus, she's probably a fan of the story.
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Ah, she's that deep, eh?
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Buzzing.
Oh
Set.
my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Furina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Hey, I get your excitement, but just tone it down a little bit.
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish.
God, we've already known Chiori for an hour and I already like her character.
Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Buzzing.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Yeah, so we are gonna only see the interactions in Act 2. Okay.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Alright.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Buzzing. Yeah, what's up?
So what did you want to tell us, Chevreuse?
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
Haven't read it yet.
The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron, and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother.
Okay.
They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone.
It's one of those stories. Okay. I can get behind it.
One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them.
Mm-hmm.
However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother.
I'm down for those types of stories. I've read a lot of stories with the same concept.
Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. a rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best.
Sick.
The Baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers.
See, this would be a story that I would read, but depending on how good the character, like, interactions are and character relationships, it's rather I'm gonna forget about it or I'm gonna remember it. And Furina already said the character interactions aren't that good, and she wants to improve it.
They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the Baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
Hey, good on them.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
I think that can fit well into a film.
Yep. The Baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevreuse?
It's pretty much seeing your favorite manga getting an anime adaptation. And if you know you can make a difference to how good it is, you're gonna take it.
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis.
There's that clout coming up again.
You've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
Wait, so what you're implying is there's a case that you need our help with?
Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before.
Yeah, we're used to it. We've been doing daily commissions for nearly 3 years.
There's been a recent murder case involving Muskets.
Oh.
The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Alright, putting it down right now. The murderer is the author of the novel.
Huh. Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
It was covered up.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
See, the author had these thoughts, and to get rid of them, he wrote a novel, but that didn't work, so then he lived out the novel by doing those same acts. I'm just reaching.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Could it be someone from your platoon?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon.
Hey, she takes the job seriously, though.
However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Yeah, we still have another 4 acts to go. I get it.
Huh? What do you mean?
Get with it, Paimon. You can't reveal all the lore in one day.
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me.
Okay.
I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail.
Can't someone from the Special Patrol help you investigate?
Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest.
I mean, it is related to the novel, so that makes sense.
I don't want people to see Muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
Well, if they're very similar to the story, it seems like it was done with that purpose.
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more.
I'm down for it.
If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
Yeah, hopefully Paimon gets sniped by a musket.
What do you think, Traveler?
It's already been quite a day. Let's give it some thought tomorrow. I've already got my opinion on it.
Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired too. We've really been hustling all day.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision.
Going back to the lesson earlier?
Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Alright, getting deep. The crack of muskets breaking the silence. There's Act 1. But yeah, that was a nice introduction for Act 1. So it does appear that we're going to be getting the character interactions on Act 2, which going to be super excited for that. But yeah, Chiori and Chevreuse Definitely seems like enjoyable characters from what I've seen from this act. So definitely can't wait to see more of them. But yeah, this does seem like it's going to be an enjoyable event. So if you don't want to miss my reactions to the other acts for this event, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you then.